happy today.
Oh, go Jays.
See that? I'm not talking about winning Western Conference Player of the Week.
What you do?
What are you talking about?
His Cowboys are back. They are back in the saddle. He's got to be ecstatic. Can you see him at home behind closed doors saying, "We got this"?
He's a big Cowboys fan.
Yeah, he's a big Cowboy fan. That just kills you.
He knows that he and I part ways.
Yeah, ways.
Right there?
See, that's the only redeeming value to LeBron James is he loves the Cowboys. And
Whatever.
There you go. At least
And the
you get a
Yankees.
minute.
Now, he and I we can talk about the Yankees.
Disagree. We have tons to get to today. Is Tom Brady already coming for Drew Brees' touchdown record?
Yep.
And did LeBron really deserve his latest award? I'm looking forward to that one. But first, there are conflicting reports about Dak's injury. During the broadcast of the Cowboys-Rams game on Sunday, Troy Aikman said that Dak was dealing with a hairline fracture on the index finger of his throwing hand. After the game, Jason Garrett refused to acknowledge the exact injury was and said he didn't want to get into the medical part of it. According to one report that came out yesterday, Dak is just dealing with a bone bruise and not a hairline fracture. So, Shannon, what do you believe?
Well, Skip, I'm more inclined to believe Troy because Troy lives in Dallas. He's very close to the team. He's very plugged into this ball club. And so I'm very sure, I'm almost certain that he got that from a very reliable source. Now, he probably wish he hadn't opened that can of worms, Skip, because you know when you do games, you get an opportunity to go watch practice. You get an opportunity to go in those production meetings. And they tell you things that they don't really want to come out to be known publicly. So Troy probably wish he hadn't have said anything about this. And then the people that probably told Troy that he had something probably went to Calvin Watkins or Todd Archer, if I'm not mistaken, and said, well, it's just a bruise. It's nothing major. Because I don't want any excuses. Because the way it's being you bring it out now, it's almost like you're making excuses for why he's played so bad up until this point. And there's no reason. Skip, on Sunday, I looked and went back and looked at it when I knew we was going to talk about this. I didn't see him shaking his hand. I didn't see him grimacing. I didn't see him wince. And you mentioned that he's done a great job of holding on to the ball last year. That's been a problem of his, of losing the ball while he's in the pocket, taking hits.
Only lost one fumble all year.
All year. And I didn't...
Knock on wood.
Well,
Thank you.
It's hard for him to lose a fumble considering they didn't really knock him down on Sunday. But you get the gist of where I'm going with this, Skip. So I'm apt to believe Troy, but he probably wish he hadn't opened up this can of worms. Skip, I'll give you a prime example. I remember I did a feature on the Broncos, Peyton's first year. They were going to the playoffs. Now, I watched Peyton practice with a glove.
This is for CBS?
This is for CBS.
Yep.
I watched Peyton Manning throw with a glove. I see the gloves in his locker. Skip, I can't go back on there and say that Peyton Manning because that's confidential. I can't do that.
Okay.
There's a lot of things, Skip, you know, teams would tell me.
Well, I mean, you could have.
I could have, but then I breached the trust.
Okay.
Be careful with
And
that.
that's the thing that and I like to think that when they tell me things, and they like, Shannon, you can talk about this, or Shannon, no, don't say anything about this. The one thing I want to always have is trust, be it me and a team or me and a player. Now, I'll always ask a player, Skip, you mind if I share this on air?
Sure.
No problem. Ask the team, well, what can I, hey, dress it up, but don't attribute it, so forth and so on. So, Skip, I just think Troy probably wishes he had not opened up this can of worm, because normally, Skip, when they do the injury report, they say leg. They don't want to get into specifics because they don't want you to target certain areas. If Coach Belichick guy has an injury, Coach Belichick might say body. Well, it might be arm, shoulder, leg, knee. You don't know because, trust me, if a player, the team see that, okay, he has an injury, and they say, okay, it's his ankle. Skip, I see him come out there with a spat job on. Okay, so really, something is really going on with the ankle. So I just think Troy probably wish he had just kept this under wrap, kept this to himself, because he probably opened up something that shouldn't, or the Cowboys didn't want to open.
Okay, so just for the record, yesterday you doubted that he had a hairline fracture in his index finger of his right hand.
Still do.
You still doubt it?
Yeah.
Okay, yet you said that Troy opened up a can of worms he shouldn't have. So now I'm going to have to presume from what you're saying that Dak exaggerated when he told Troy, that's what the report was, that
they spoke.
This is from our man Clarence Hill that we had on the show.
Yeah, well, see, Clarence said that. I'd have took that to my bank. I take that to my handy bank. Anything old Clarence Hill Jr. say?
Yeah.
By the way, Clarence Hill, you owe me a gallon too.
Really?
Texas lost to Oklahoma. Yeah.
Really? You bet on
Yeah, I
that?
bet him. He act like I've been trying to DM him, Skip, and message inbox him, and he act like he can't get none of those.
You bet on my Oklahoma
I bet
Sooners?
on him.
Wow. So you have seen the light.
I guess he has.
Way to go.
Against Texas.
Oh, okay.
That's what that was.
That makes it different.
Okay. I didn't know Clarence Hill was a Texas guy.
I think he went to Texas.
He must have. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Back to this. Okay, so this is what I think happened. I believe that it was either in the production meeting on Saturday, which is less likely, or on the field on Sunday. And Troy always mentions during the broadcast, the telecast, I went down on the field and I saw so-and-so.
Correct.
Okay, I'm just going to guess, maybe even educated guess, that Troy went down before the game and happened to sort of bump into Dak on the field, and Dak did have his index finger taped up.
Correct.
It's possible, again, I don't have any inside knowledge on this, that Troy just was making conversation. You okay? I got a little hairline fracture on the tip of my index finger. Ooh, really? You gonna be okay? Yeah, I'll be okay. And remember, Troy's not a player anymore. He's on our side of the fence.
Right.
So I would respect Troy then to report that. And I told you yesterday, when he said it early in the telecast, wow, I about fell off my chair because that had not been out there.
Well, I think he was on the injury report, Skip, with
both
hands.
He was.
But he was a full participant.
Didn't miss any days.
Okay, so I didn't know what the both hands were. Then they said maybe the left one was more of his wrist. And I didn't know anything about a smashed up right index finger from the Bears game.
Because what, Skip? They say hands because they don't want you to target or know either.
Specify.
Correct.
Okay, so then Troy goes with it on the air, and I'm proud of him. I'm like, go Troy, go, because again, he is representing a media entity, Fox Sports.
Right.
And again, Dak would have nothing but respect for a Cowboy legend quarterback, right?
Right.
So he might be more prone to talk to Troy, even though Troy has been at points critical of Dak.
Yes.
But Dak doesn't seem to take criticism personally.
Right.
He takes it
Understand
in
that's his
stride.
job.
It's just part of your job. And again, he would honor the criticism from a guy.
Oh, so in other words, he respect what I'm saying because that's a part of my job, right, Jenny? Is that what you say about Dak? But me?
You didn't play quarterback.
Whoa. Talk about Skip.
Troy Aikman played quarterback in that hot seat for that team, America's
No
team.
offense, Shannon.
But I thought if, player, because normally what they try to do with you, Skip, when you criticize them, well, you didn't play. Well, what position did you play? How they gonna come for Shea Sharp? With the 8 Pro Bowls, the 3 Super Bowls, the Hall of Fame credential.
Well, as long as you're criticizing a tight end. Then
No. My criticism is not just, it's just not to
But
the
Dak
tight
would
end.
shrug off your criticisms. He'd say, he never played quarterback.
Yeah.
He has no idea what's going on here, right? Okay, so now it does get reported, much to Dak's chagrin, because he's probably thinking, gee, because he probably thought I was just talking to Troy sort of
He thought it was probably off the record.
man to man. We were just, the two of us were just having a little pregame conversation.
Right.
Okay, so it does get reported, and the Cowboys don't love that it got reported.
Correct.
Not that they're going to hold it against Troy, because they're not, but they want to try to minimize. They put out a little bit of the brush fire that gets started over this. So they're going to drop hints to 2 key reporters, 2 very good reporters. You mentioned Todd Archer, Calvin Watkins, the Dallas Morning News, Todd Archer of ESPN.
Right.
And I don't know if it came from Rich Dalrymple, the PR director. It could have come from Stephen or Jerry. They just wanted them to know, hey, it's really not fractured. It just got smashed. And Calvin Watkins had the report that there was blood in the fingertip.
Right.
So it just gathered some blood probably under the end of the nail.
Correct.
Okay. So to your point, they don't want it out there so that the Eagles can say, oh, he's got a hairline fracture and it's not going to get any better in a week. So if we get a chance, take a swipe at it. Just try to hit him on his right index finger. If you get the shot, take the shot. Because if in fact it is hairline fractured, and I believe it is, that it's going to be a dull ache. And every time he grips hard to throw, you're going to get a little sting from it because you just are. It's not going to get better probably the rest of this year, right?
No.
If in fact it's hairline fracture.
Correct.
And the point is, Dak did suck it up and play, and he's not an excuse maker either. He doesn't make excuses after games, and he doesn't exaggerate, or he doesn't. I think he told the truth. This is just my take. He told the truth to Troy.
Right.
He didn't expect it to be publicized.
Correct.
And now he's got to go forward into the game of the year for this team with this hanging over his head. And he doesn't want it to be made a big deal because he doesn't want to think about it anymore. And he definitely doesn't want the Eagles to take shots at him.
Yeah, I agree with you, Skip. I think the thing is that when you say something, and look, for players moving forward, you need to let the reporter or whomever you're talking to, it's OTR. It's off the record.